Bullshit. Your eyes are really red.
I know they are.
Did you get some of that stuff in your ear or your eye?
I did. I got that stuff in my eye. So I was in the car. I was wiping off those bug tar things, and I was just. Is it red?
It's very red.
Well, I guess we have a red eye podcast tonight.
Red eye podcast. It's been a long time since we've been on a red eye flight.
Speaking of red eye, staring at you right there. Red eye sucks.
Yeah.
So the big question is this. How are leaders like you that recognize people and technology are the backbone of the company they're building continue to make progress when they have no clear idea on how to develop individuals and utilize technology in a way that helps them remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Tom and Michaela, and welcome to the Heart and Hustle Podcast.
You know, the theme of this podcast tonight, it's a resounding theme from the entire week, I think, of our travels, our experiences in the past 7 days. But I'm going to talk about why it's important that the carpet matches thy drapes.
It's imperative.
It's imperative. It's always good. But yeah, we had a good week. We saw Fast X.
We did see Fast X.
A week ago.
Total bullshit, tonight, but entertaining.
It was. And I think, is it Jason Momoa, whatever his name is? He's like crazy. The best villain ever.
He's the weirdest.
And I think he's weird like that in like real life. But he had that comment and he had lavender car, lavender fingernails, and all this other stuff going on. I won't spoil anything, but he made the comment of the carpet must match the drapes, and that was in relation to his car and his fingernails and all that kind of stuff. But I guess his mother hates lavender, so he had to kind of stick it to her in the movie. So.
I'm not sure if that's loving or.
And then we've been doing
an F you, Mom.
And we've been doing some remodel work. Like, and both of us are the two types of people. Like we can't live in chaos. We can't live in clutter. We can't live in.
Been there, done that.
We can't live in. Why'd you have to bring that up on such a nice day?
I'm just saying.
I know.
That's why we are where we are.
Okay. Shout out to the exes, I guess. There you go.
Yeah.
So anyways, so in order to do that, we decided, hey, let's do an upgrade to the house a little bit. Let's kind of get some new flooring. And so we got some new flooring.
So we don't have the 90s grandma look going on.
Yeah, and not the carpet per se, but, you know, all the other linoleum and woodwork and wood flooring. And we kind of ripped everything out and just got all the same stuff. And it's amazing. But we went through that process, and all of a sudden now it's like, crap, the countertops don't match.
I told you once that
the door handles
rolling,
the door pulls, they don't match. The faucets don't match. And so anyways, we're kind of on this make sure the carpet matches the drapes theme right now with, you know, movies in our home and everything else.
Yeah, all the things. Everything must coordinate and look good and match. And
it is.
We try.
But, you know, and I don't know if this is a good thing to say or not. I don't know if it's a positive thing to say. And definitely we can't name names. We would never do that. But I had a phenomenal week this past week.
How so?
Well,
you got to travel with your wife?
I got in trouble with my wife?
You got to travel with your wife.
I did. We traveled. We did a lot. But it was...
Oh, okay. That obviously wasn't the highlight.
It was chaotic. It was fun, but you ever get in that point of relationships? They can be personal relationships, they can be business relationships, but you end up having, when you start in the beginning as like an entrepreneur or as a young company, you kind of get your first customer, right? And you start building on that first client. And you end up having, you know, 2 and 5 and 10 and 20 and 100, and you just keep growing and growing and growing. Well, as you're growing, everybody changes. People change.
Things
I
change.
change.
Everything changes.
You've changed. And we've changed ourselves, even with each other. We've changed, you know, with our kids, and we've changed with the people that we know, employees, and our organization has changed. I mean, we've gone through probably, 6 or 7 or 8 different or, types of soaring group, I guess, over the 6 years now, and just with people and processes and everything else. And over the past week, I've kind of taken a step back, and I'm just evaluating like everything, like looking for the dead weight,
Right.
looking for the things that we can change, that we can cut or get rid of to help lighten the load and boost the company. And I don't mean like, expenses and, kind of going down that route. That's life has never been more grand. I mean, things are great, but you start to really identify kind of who you want to work with and who you don't.
I find it interesting that our last podcast spoke directly to this. And it's kind of like, the law of manifestation is just kind of naturally happening because
I don't know about you.
things.
I am starting to believe in that stuff a lot lately. Probably more than lately, like probably the past 2-3 years, like really getting into the whole manifestation thing. And I'm not really manifesting. I'm not like doing the 3-6-9 method of writing it down and repeating it, and you probably don't know what that is, do you?
Yeah, I do, but
Okay.
That's whatever.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
there's a huge, I am a huge proponent of
By the way,
you
this
think,
podcast is brought to you by Tokyo Tea.
the way you think and what you think has a huge effect on your life.
It does.
I mean, if you're a Debbie Downer all the time, you're complaining, you're bitching, you're whining about everything, you're a victim and why me and woe is me, like that is not going to bring you
No.
any positive results.
It won't.
I mean, I totally believe in that. Just energy and what you think about, you will receive
That's correct.
eventually in the long run in one way, shape, or form. And
I mean, if you think about it, everything that we have spoken about with the organization, us, Heart Hustle, everything else, I mean, it's like we speak it into existence. And I know I got really weirded out last podcast and talking through that whole consultancy thing. And when I referenced the chairs here in front of me, and hopefully I can get a picture of that next time. But it just got down to people understanding what it is that they're trying to go after and help them understand and realize the problems at which they're facing aren't really problems. They're things that they can fix themselves. And I honestly think that it's just things that they have to talk through, know that there's a better life, know that there's better things out there, and see themselves in that position to the point where they actually believe it, they smell it, they feel it, they understand it. Mm-hmm. And it's like us in Florida. Like we just got back yesterday again from Florida. We're heading down back in 2 weeks from now. And it just seems like, we're spending 7 to 10, 11 days a month down there anymore. I mean, we're down there a third of our life and we're flying back and forth. And 9 months ago, a year ago, we never would have thought it. And we visited one time like, hey, let's try this. Let's do this. And sure, we have to change some things around, lifestyles, make sure that we can do that. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's going to happen. I mean, and I know within the bottom of my heart, my chest, whatever it is, that inside the next probably 2 years, year and a half, maybe 6 months, we're going to have a house down there as opposed to an apartment. And we're going to be living part-time down there. And I'm happy about that. But we also have a team down there. We have employees and we have an office down there. So we do have to split time. So it's not like we're going down there for fun, people. I mean, This isn't vacation. We're trying to, market ourselves and test the market and understand, Heart and Hustle, can it survive down there? Can soaring groups survive down there? Who's our competition? Why does our competition even matter down there? I think most of them suck. And really just kind of understanding the culture and the people that live in that state.
right.
So, and here it's the same old. I mean, I walk down the streets here or maybe go to Omaha and same company, same buildings, worked with hundreds and thousands of organizations over the years and they're all great. But you go down there and it's a whole new world. And it's not so much the organizations exist, but it's the people, like the mentality and the personalities of Floridians or people that migrate from different states into Florida. It's not like the Midwest. It's not like just speaking to the CEO of a big company here. I mean, literally can walk with a pair of shorts and t-shirt and have that conversation. And down there, it's not so much that way, but I'm not changing who I am, Mm-hmm. Plus it's too damn hot down there to walk in anything else but shorts and t-shirts. They're damn lucky I don't walk in my Speedo.
It's hot.
It's hot down there.
So Wonderful. Though.
Jason was down there. I should have got a picture, but he was down there with me at the end of March, I think it was, or whatever it was, beginning of April, and
he was dying
it
at
was,
that point.
It was 79
degrees.
degrees.
It was a balmy,
It was
82
beautiful.
at the highest.
It was beautiful. It wasn't
wonderful.
hot. And he
It's so hot.
he got halfway up the stairs. Oh, do that again,
No.
please.
Oh, keep going.
All right.
Go.
That's the second time today. But anyways, but he got halfway up the stairs and he's like, oh, I'm so hot. I got to stop. I'm like, dude, you're like up like 8 stairs out of the 16 that are here and it's 79 degrees. But I think that Florida humidity was just starting to kind of kick in a little bit with him.
Wasn't it just glorious this week? Just the downpour of rain in Florida.
Horrid is what that was. So
It was wonderful.
So we have a
we need it so bad here in Nebraska, and just it poured and poured and poured in Florida.
So we have a little Ford Focus hatchback down there, black one. It's kind of my favorite car right now, the company cars, and that's down there for company use, obviously. And we were out visiting a client and kind of meeting up with someone, and as we're driving there, just started downpouring on us, like
Pouring. I'm on a conference call, right? And they're like, Michaela, we can't hear you. I can't hear anything you're saying.
You couldn't see anything in front of you. That little Ford Focus is, 2 inches off the ground, and the water doesn't really run off anywhere down there, and you just kind of pretty much float. And it wasn't that bad, but I just felt like we're going to be floating here in about 2 minutes.
It was so great, though, having dinner with one of our former coworkers. It was raining. It was a wonderful meal. It was a beautiful restaurant. It was so much fun.
And let's clarify this. Mr. Ben. He used to work for our company, loved the man to death. He decided to move on in life and take out a different role, different position, kind of got out of what he was doing for a career and jumped into something else. But he turned into a client.
He is.
Yeah. And now he's a client, and we took him out for dinner and meet with him, discuss things that are moving on with him in his world, and, share some stories. And it was a good time.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Dinner in the pouring rain.
We did.
We were covered. We were covered with the tent.
Yeah, we were covered with the tent.
But
so
it was just lovely.
I don't know, man. So
anyway, where are we going with this thing?
Just anyways.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure where that headed off, but maybe
I don't know where we're going.
We can do an edit here. So anyways, but I think what the moral of this story is that as companies grow, as you change, recognize that every company does change and every company does grow, and people change, staff changes. Hopefully your values don't change too much, but at the end of the day, you do have to look back and you do have to reevaluate your business every year, every 6 months, every year, and kind of look at what's there and really start to trim the fat, cut the dead weight. It may be firing your best friend who works for you. It may be, firing that client that's still paying you a few bucks a month, but you just don't want to get rid of, but you're like, good riddance. But you just really got to evaluate and focus on what drives the organization and what drives you. And that's a really hard decision. And those are the types of decisions that we get involved with Heart Hustle a lot. And they're tough decisions. They're really, really tough conversations to have.
They're life-changing.
And it's therapy. And like I said last time on episode 63, that we have
63,
it was it got like 10,000 views so far on that one. It's crazy. But it's just like people know what they have to do. You and I, our friends, business colleagues, people that we mentor, they know what they have to do to make their company successful. 100%. What they have a problem with is actually taking the leap and actually doing it because they're afraid that it's going to hurt somebody else. It's going to hurt their feelings, or they're afraid of what somebody else may think of them for making that decision, even though they know it's the right decision, but they're failing to make that decision because they're afraid of what somebody else thinks.
Well, and we typically have that gut instinct, but we tend to think about it and overthink about it and think about it this way and that way and what if, and just that kind of anxiety sets in. And when you're making the major decisions that we're talking about in business, that affect your life, it's worth thinking about. But we do innately kind of typically have that gut instinct. It's just sometimes you have to talk it through with somebody else. I mean, even a lot of the clients that I work with, just through the human resources side, they typically know what they need to do and how to do it. It's just sometimes you just have to have that person to talk it through with and hear yourself speak out loud, and then things end up becoming crystal clear.
And oftentimes they're scared. They're scared, and they may disagree with us and what we say, even though with what we say is 100% correct by just probably what they should do, or maybe even the law, but they still make the decision of not doing it because they're scared of how other people may see them if they make that tough call.
Yeah, there's that side of it too.
And that's just difficult, man. So, but over time, at the end of the day, I think people end up solving it for themselves, talking through it. Some are faster, some are slower, but move fast. Move fast. This world's way too short to move too slow.
Yeah. It reminds me of that song.
Here we go.
I'm way too young to feel this damn old. I've kind of been feeling that lately. But anyway. Yeah.
I can't help. I'm not sure about that, but this 50-year-old looks a lot younger.
Oh, yeah. We had this conversation last time.
Than that 49-year-old.
I'm not even that.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go. Anyhow, guys, enjoy. Hopefully, we're starting to find our voice here in episode number 64. But tell us what you think. Comment below. You never know. If you do comment, you leave your email address. We might ship you a set of AirPods. We have a couple extra sets just lying around. So we'll see who listens to this podcast long enough to actually do that. So anyways.
Funny.
Is that it for you tonight?
That's it for me.
Get back to your Tokyo tea.
Get back to my...
Oh, Tokyo.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That's probably not very good, but all right. Catch you guys later. Bye.